Inflammation directly or indirectly accounts for more than half of all chronic disease and subsequent mortality. Today we'll explore a massive review of reviews which included 25 major studies and 30,000 people with varying backgrounds. We'll look at the inflammatory markers impacted, the biological factors that increase or reduce the inflammatory response, and the impact of exercise itself across different populations. Before explaining the article, it is important to understand what inflammation actually is. Inflammation is an intrinsic protective process, meaning it is the body's natural defense and repair response. When you get an injury, infection, or illness, your immune system sends extra blood flow, immune cells, and chemical signals to the affected area. This helps fight off harmful germs, remove damaged tissue, and start the healing process. Conversely, more than half of all deaths are directly or indirectly associated with inflammation, including ischemic heart disease, stroke, cancer, type 2 diabetes, kidney disease, osteoporosis, as well as depression, age-related decline. It even affects your chronic non-specific low back pain as well, amongst others. So, how do we have a process in the body that helps us but can also harm us? Well, there are two main types of inflammation. Acute and chronic inflammation. Acute inflammation is short-term and helpful. This is the intrinsic protective factor I mentioned. For example, if you roll your ankle, cut your skin, or get a throat infection, the area may become red, hot, swollen, painful, or irritated. This is your body trying to protect and repair itself. Once the problem is resolved, the inflammation usually settles down. Conversely, we get chronic inflammation, which acts quite differently. It is longer lasting and can become harmful. Instead of switching off after the body has healed, the immune system stays mildly activated for weeks, months, or even years. This can happen due to factors such as physical inactivity, excess body fat, poor diet, stress, smoking, poor sleep, and other chronic diseases. Chronic inflammation is often described as low grade because it may not cause obvious swelling or pain like other injuries do. However, over time, it can place stress on the body and contribute to disease like the ones I mentioned earlier. So, now we get to the article looking at whether exercise can help reduce this harmful long-term type of inflammation. The article was a large review of reviews. This means that the authors did not just look at one exercise study. Instead, they collected and analyzed findings from many previous systematic reviews and meta-analyses. Altogether, the paper included evidence from 25 major reviews involving more than 30,000 people. The researchers were mainly interested in three inflammation markers found in the blood. These are CRP, IL-6, and TNF-alpha. These are substances that can increase when the body is under inflammatory stress. In simple terms, they are like warning signals that tell us the body may be experiencing high levels of inflammation. The main finding was that exercise helped reduce all three of these inflammation markers. This means that regular physical activity appears to have an anti-inflammatory effect on the body. This is important because many people think of exercise only as a way to improve fitness, lose weight, build muscle, or improve heart health. While those benefits are obviously true, this article shows that exercise may also improve what is happening inside the body at a deeper biological level. It can help downregulate or calm down long-term inflammatory stress. The article included many different groups of people, such as healthy adults, older adults, people with obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, breast cancer, knee osteoarthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, fibromyalgia, and other chronic health conditions. This is useful because it suggests that exercise may help reduce inflammation across a wide range of populations, not just in healthy or athletic people. The types of exercise included were aerobic exercise, resistance training, and combined exercise programs. Aerobic exercise included activities such as walking, cycling, swimming, or jogging. Resistance training includes exercises such as weights, machines, bands, and bodyweight exercise. Combined training uses a mix of aerobic and resistance exercise. The article explains that exercise may reduce inflammation in several ways. First, exercise can help reduce visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat stored around organs, especially in the abdominal area. This type of fat is not just stored energy, it can release inflammatory chemicals into the body. So, when exercise helps reduce abdominal fat, it can also reduce one source of inflammation. Second, exercise helps the body use insulin and blood sugar more effectively. When the body struggles to manage blood sugar, this can increase inflammation and stress in the body. By improving blood sugar control, exercise can help reduce inflammatory signals. So, if you struggle with insulin or blood sugar, exercise helps improve these health markers. Third, exercise improves the health of blood vessels, muscles, and cells. It helps the body manage stress better and can reduce harmful processes such as oxidative stress, which is closely linked with inflammation. Fourth, muscles help release helpful chemicals during exercise. When muscles contract, they release substances called myokines. Some of these help regulate the immune system and can encourage an anti-inflammatory response. In other words, what that basically means is that working muscles can send helpful signals throughout the body. The article also suggests that aerobic and resistance exercise may reduce inflammation in slightly different ways. Aerobic exercise is especially helpful for improving heart and blood vessel health, reducing body fat, and lowering markers such as CRP. Resistance exercise is helpful because it builds or maintains muscle. This improves strength, supports blood sugar control, and may reduce inflammation even without major weight loss. I'll say that again. You can improve health markers without major weight loss, but exercise is the key. Because of this, a combination of resistance and aerobic exercise may be especially beneficial. Aerobic exercise supports cardiovascular and metabolic health, while resistance training supports muscle strength, function, and glucose regulation. Again, insulin sensitivity and blood sugar are heavily affected by increased muscle mass, or heavily improved by muscle mass. Together, they target inflammation from multiple angles. However, implementing some research quality here. The article also had some limitations, but these limitations are actually good because the studies included were quite different from each other. They used different types of exercise, different program lengths, different intensities, different populations. This means we cannot say there is one perfect exercise plan that works best for everyone. The best exercise prescription may depend on you, your age, health condition, fitness goals, goals, and starting level of inflammation. This is good news because any exercise is better than no exercise when it comes to improving our health. Overall, the key message is that regular exercise can help reduce chronic systemic inflammation. This supports the idea that exercise is a powerful form of medicine. It does not just make people fitter and stronger, it can also improve internal health by reducing harmful long-term inflammation. For us, everyday people, the practical takeaway is very simple. Regular movement matters. Be it walking, cycling, swimming, strength training, or a combination of these, they can all be useful. The most important thing is to exercise consistently and choose activities that are safe, enjoyable, and appropriate for you. I'll repeat that again. The most important thing is to partake in any exercise that is safe, enjoyable, and relevant to you, because that is the exercise you are more likely to consistently do and get results from. In summary, acute inflammation is short-term and helps the body heal, while chronic inflammation is long-term and can contribute to disease. The article I used here shows that exercise can help lower chronic inflammation markers in the body, making it an important strategy for preventing and managing many chronic health conditions. So, if you've made it through the last 9 minutes, thank you. I hope you got something out of it. I will be aiming to do 1 or 2 of these a week moving forward. And if you have any questions or other topics you might want me to discuss or cover, please let me know.